Equity, the trade union for professional actors, variety entertainers and other creatives across the United Kingdom, are about to commence a postal ballot of their 50,000 members to elect their new council, the Equity Council, to take office from July 2026. But before the first ballot papers, due from the 20th of May onwards, drop through members' letterboxes, some of our regular viewers, who are also members of Equity, have been in touch and said, Nigel, we can predict now with certainty the outcome of the election. How can they possibly do this? We'll present the information they've sent to us via our usual email address and then see if you agree with what they are saying. Do stick with us.
Nigel.cecil, calling things out as you like it, especially for his fair-minded friends.
Jacobasses are very well welcome, and thank you for sticking along with my very good friend Hilary and moi, Nigel.cecil, straight into the topic of this video, because we didn't believe it when some of our regular viewers, our fair-minded and equitable friends who were also members of Equity, got in touch via our usual email address and said, Nigel, we can predict already the outcome of the postal ballot of 50,000 Equity members to elect their new council taking office for 2 years from 2026. We can predict it now. The outcome. Can you indeed? Yes, before even the first ballot papers have dropped through Equity members' letterboxes, due to be sent out from the 20th of May onwards. The close of poll isn't until the 1st of July. We said, you've got to be talking poppycock. But then they sent us the facts. It appears that they'd seen recent videos posted on Equity's official social media platforms that arose from Equity's annual conference being held last weekend at Durham Miners Hall. And there, the General Secretary presented their report. And in that report, they said, well, basically, we'll trash Reform UK, calling out the far right, in the same breath saying, well, Sir Keir Starmer, pack your bags, it's time you got out of 10 Downing Street. Well, words to that effect. And they're saying, how can the General Secretary of Equity do this? Now, one thing we've mentioned several times, we acclaim Paul W Fleming, because they really are focused at achieving their objectives and indeed promoting the views, the policies of the Equity Council. So acclaim to them. But you've asked us, Nigel, surely then what the General Secretary said and the fact they posted it on social media must mean that the Council have approved those policies. They directed one, Hilary, to rule, we hate mentioning the rules really, P21, which says the General Secretary shall carry out their duties as directed by the Council and in accordance with the policies of the Union and with these rules. So that clearly says, if you sum it up, the General Secretary must have had the approval of the Council, or indeed must be assured they would get the approval of the Council. Now, we're not discussing the whys and wherefores, whether the Council should have done that, whether the General Secretary should have said that. The fact is, they did. Now, think about it. The General Secretary isn't going to put their job in jeopardy. The new council is due to be elected in July, so they must be confident, and it seems reasonable to say this, that they know the new council will carry on the policies, the objectives, the ideology of the current council. So then you said, Nigel, check the nominations that are going to be on the ballot paper. And we did. These were published back on the 28th of April on the Equity website. And if you look at them, it's quite clear, no matter how many of you vote, the majority on the new council, the overwhelming majority, are going to represent a continuance of the current policies. So when the Equity President encourages everyone to vote, no matter how you vote, you're going to get the same council. Is this real democracy in action? There's something like 24 sections that are up for election, but 15 of them are already uncontested. And when you look at the other sections, well, other than the exception that proves the rule, it's those who are currently on the council standing for re-election again. So there we are. No matter how you vote, the new council is going to be fully representative of what the old council, well, they're still in office now. So is this real democracy in action? Check out the facts for yourself, but it does seem, viewing the information you've sent to us, it's absolutely correct. You can predict now with certainty the outcome of the postal ballot of all the members. No change, the same as what it is. Let's continue. Do you want Equity to continue down this road? Do let us know. And in the meantime, as this is about equity, we always end up by saying, to all art is good work, to all workers good art, and to everyone, equity. Oh, and by the way, you might actually, if you look at the ballot paper, see a face wearing this hat. So, we'll give you the statement, shall we? BBC Top of the Pops. I've never forgotten Levi Stubbs, the Four Tops, chatting with me about Reach Out, I'll Be There, saying music is a universal language. Whatever your cultural, ethnic or social background, everyone may relate through music. Equity should be similarly inclusive. Non-party political, non-sectarian, professional have gone from Equity's rulebook. Actors, variety entertainers, creatives are now treated as workers, promoting collective socialism. Understandable, considering trade unions' origins, but adherence to doctrines have developed into sectarian boundaries. I believe our profession must champion freedom of expression. Performance arts culture must be able to creatively entertain, innovate and challenge without dogmatic restrictions. I promise to remain free from ideologies. I'll prioritise your professional interests. As a former Equity Vice President, I promise that when you need support, advice or friendship, I'll channel Levi Stubbs. Reach out, I'll be there, making sure Equity also acts equally for you.
Nigel.cecil, calling things out.